All right, boys and girls, it is time for another episode of State of the Atmosphere, your weekly dose of pop culture in my corner of the world. Joe's Atmosphere is proud to bring you State of the Atmosphere. All right, it's time for State of the Atmosphere. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere. It's good to see you guys this hump day, this Wednesday. And as usual, I got a friend to start with. It's Knock. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Ready for the weekend again.
I'm sure he just came off of course, he's going to have a little breakdown for it here in a little bit. But
Yeah,
you just got done going to your first Comic Con and you're going to another
yeah.
one this
First
weekend,
first
right?
major one. Yeah, first major one, and then the second one was just too good to pass up. Too many guests, which I'll talk a little bit about as well after I cover the first one. But
Hmm.
yeah, it just way too many people I wanted to see. The first one was Hayden Christensen. That was the main event for just wanted to beat him, and then Rosario Dawson was the icing on the cake. So
I hear you. I hear you, man.
yeah.
Well, listen, why don't you go ahead and get your slideshow up and tell us a little bit about what you experienced at your first Comic Con, man?
Yeah. So I went on. So it was a 3 day event. I
Hmm.
went on Friday, right after work. I went straight from work because I work up at Fort Belvoir, which is about 30 minutes from the hotel I was staying at in
Right.
Crystal City.
Uh huh.
Um, so right after work, I left a little bit early so I can get to my check-in around 3 p.m. and I stopped to the hotel and got my card, paid for the private parking, which was awesome because it was just a little port right there in the hotel.
Yeah.
Drive out into the garage port, and so
Hmm.
my car stayed there the entire weekend. I didn't have to move it because the metro was only a block away.
Hmm.
So and it wasn't like in the inner city, so I felt very safe
Yeah.
walking to it.
I hear you.
Um, but yeah, stopped at the hotel first. If you want to put me in there.
I will put you in just a second. Let's go ahead and say hi to the chat real quick. One thing I forgot about. Tim was here first, of course, and anytime Tim is in the house, we have to recognize that he's here.
There are some who call me Tim.
He's the first one in. Good to see you, man. And my friend Teresa's in here too. How you doing? It's good to see you, girl. I hope you're having a good day. Um, so you were staying in this place right here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Crown Plaza in Crystal City,
Mm-hmm.
and just across the water from DC proper. And uh, yeah, it was a very nice place.
Mm-hmm.
It was super easy to check in. It was super easy to get up to the room. And it was a pretty nice room, I think.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you look on the left, there's a little TV there.
Yeah.
Didn't turn it on once,
No,
not one
too busy
time.
checking stuff out. You probably didn't even stay in the room, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I came here to sleep, and then that was it. Like
Yeah.
that's all it was. I barely did. The room was immaculate when I left it. The only thing that wasn't was the bed and the trash that I threw away. Like
Yeah.
that's about it. That's all I really did in there.
Right.
But no, that first day, then I needed to learn the metro system.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big thing. I
Right.
haven't been in the metro system in DC in like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So, but luckily it's super easy. They have like a 3-day pass you can do, just unlimited rides. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
screw it, let's do that.
Yeah.
So I had a card with unlimited rides and all that good stuff, and so I was just trying to figure out how to get to the convention center. So you have to take a particular color to get there.
Right.
And then this is the picture I sent you in the text.
Yep.
The one shot I got from the window. So
Mm-hmm.
so that was a little fun ride there, and then it went back underground. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
this is I didn't take a picture on the outside because it really takes you right up to the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
The metro does. So that was kind of nice, and I just had to kind of go around towards where the entrance was. But this was inside the Walter E. Convention Center.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take a whole lot of pictures on Friday because it was later in the day.
Right.
It was more, for me. Friday was more just like a scouting mission. This could be the same this Friday,
Mm-hmm.
but this
That's
was
what most of the cons are,
Yeah, this was the view from the top, but even then I couldn't really see everything from up there. I wanted to go a little slower with the camera, but the lady behind us is trying to keep directing us down the stairs and not to stand up there and kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I just did my little video and then headed downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So this was on Friday, so it's not a bad crew for amount of people there
Mm-hmm.
for the Friday. So really all I did was I like I said, I scouted it. Let's see, this is a still right here on the right. On the back right is where the photos immediately to the right section was, and then you had the autographs on the left side,
Right.
back left corner.
Yeah.
So I basically just went over there first, and when I got there, it was like, oh, Tara Reid's doing photos right now. So I was like, okay.
So I can take a picture with a hot blonde. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
There was no line there. At least they were getting ready to line up for her, but it wasn't a crazy line.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, yeah, let me just get a picture of that. And then I went to there were some smaller panels, some smaller events. So like this one right here, this was the Meet the Mandalorians, a local crew, and it was them talking about themselves, and they were going to do a showcase a little armory build, how they do it. They talked about themselves so much that they left like the armor build for like 2 minutes at the end.
Wow, great.
had no time.
Thanks a lot. We came here to learn how to build the armor, and you're talking about yourselves.
Yeah, it really was about their individual journey to become. It was like, I mean,
which is cool,
but,
Yeah,
it's cool, but that's not the only reason I was here. I was here to watch you guys build some armor, and so,
for those of you tuning in for the first time, Knock is the biggest Star Wars geek I know. So
yeah, so when I said there wasn't too much to do that first day, so I checked out anything I could that's Star Wars. So they had some really cool setups, though. I thought they were pretty cool.
Awesome con, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's awesome con. Yeah. And then later that night, I just did a couple of those events, and later that night, I did sign up for an after party. It was like $20, but so on the way there, it was in Chinatown. So I thought this was a pretty good picture, just to see it. However,
it's nice.
As soon as I got off the metro system, I smelled weed everywhere. And then when I got out later that night into the streets of DC, I smelled weed everywhere.
Yeah.
Except it was the traffic at night in DC is going to forever be burned into my brain and confirm my belief that I'm never going to drive anywhere in that city ever, because the freaking horns honking everywhere.
Yeah.
Freaking just, everyone's speeding along trying to get through. You wait for the little white guy, the white sign to say, walk, walk now. Yeah. And there's fuckers in the left lane trying to turn right then and there.
Wow.
Because there's no red light for them as far as turn lanes. They have to turn when they can. Yeah. So it was. Like,
a major city's a different thing, dude. Yeah, you got to have your head on a swivel.
I don't even like going to downtown Fredericksburg, which is a really smaller town compared to this. And I don't.
All right, show us the next day, man.
Yeah, give me 1 second to you can get a little
Yeah,
look at my
butt face.
background. Yeah, yeah, that was the
That's his nephew did that to
yeah.
his laptop.
They did well. My nieces and nephews they did that forever ago. So let me get to Saturday.
Did you have a good time? That's the most important thing, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saturday I definitely took a lot more pictures. Let me see
Mhm.
if I do the.
Let me know when you're ready,
Uh, yeah, I
and
think
I
I'm
will
good.
make it happen.
So Saturday was, I was a pro at Metro at that time,
Yeah.
so I got there really easy. Um, and the morning was just me waiting for Tom Welling and I wish Tom Holland was there, but Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville.
Uh huh.
I was waiting for them to show up. Uh,
Yeah.
I got there around 9:30, and Michael Rosenbaum didn't get there until 11:45, and Tom Welling didn't get there until 12:45. So
Yeah.
a lot of waiting. So I did look a little bit around the place. Let's see. Sorry, this is so I did get a couple pictures of some of the vendors and clubs and
The
stuff like that.
501st Legion. Yeah, that's that they're all over the country, man. They're at every con we have here.
Mhm.
Um, they have a division everywhere. Yeah, that's the cosplayers
Mhm.
that
It
do
was a
that.
little night station. I thought that was pretty cool. The night station.
I think to become part of that group, you have to have a movie authentic costume. I think.
It has to be. So they discussed that in that Mandalorian program
Yeah.
before. It's got to be. There are criteria to how it's supposed to be built, and
Yeah.
it's got to be era specific.
Right.
Whatever era you got to do, it's got to be specific to that era. It's got to
Right.
match
You can't be
the aesthetics of
slapping
that
two
one.
different eras together and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to go
Gotta
through a
be
whole
accurate.
approval process. They were going
Yep.
through that. I was like, oh man.
Yep.
So while waiting for them, I got probably the coolest guy. This is probably the best part of the whole Awesome Con for me, and that was Orlando Jones.
Orlando Jones. I've
He
actually
was
been in a
awesome.
movie with him. He was a detective in Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, the Michael Douglas movie. I was actually a featured extra in. Yep.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
he was really cool. He was the only one there that was actually actively standing in front of his booth. He never went behind his booth.
Yeah.
He was the only one that was out talking to people. Like
Mm-hmm.
he didn't just come out to do the selfie or anything like that. He was standing out there the entire time.
Yeah.
And actually engaging in people and all that good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So that was definitely a highlight. And of course, I told him that for me, I was in the marching band. So Drumline was one of my favorite movies of his.
Right.
So I
Mhm.
got this little light up 3D thing, and of course he signed it on the back as well. He gave me a little card too.
Mm-hmm.
But one band, one sound. That was the theme of the when he was he's the band director in
Right.
Drumline. That
Very
was his
cool.
motto. So just a really cool guy. And then finally Michael Rosenbaum showed up, and apparently he's an expert at taking selfies. So he took my phone and he just he took a bunch of pictures. He just kind of put it all over the place. And so, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. That little smirk at the end, it was,
Yeah.
I
That's
thought
the
that
one
was,
you sent me was the smirk.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
smirk. So that was really cool. And then finally, Tom Welling showed up. So they were kind of going back and forth, and because they're good
Mhm.
buddies in real life, they have their own podcast and everything.
Yeah.
Right now, they're going through the Talkville, which is they're basically watching the episodes
Okay.
today. They're up to like season 4, whatever.
Yeah.
But and then of course Walter Jones came over
Oh yeah.
with the Black Ranger,
Yeah.
and so he was messing with them, so he came over. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's cool to see those guys interact with each other. It really is. Yep.
And then I thought was kind of cool. I saw this panel. This was if you guys notice this cordyceps. That's the fungi that they use in Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so they were basically discussing the different fungi and viruses or whatever that zombify animals and stuff like that. So they
Wow.
had a whole showcase of just different types. It was a bunch of nerd scientists and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And then this
That
was,
made you scared of Last of Us coming
yeah, right,
to
yeah.
life, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, good God.
So now before that, I had after I got the autographs in the morning is when I went and did and I'll show them here in a little bit. But I did the photo ops with Rosario Dawson, Hayden Christensen, and Charlie Cox.
That had to be early.
Well,
Right.
that was in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
they were both set in the afternoons. They did some autographs first.
No, I'm talking about the pictures.
Oh,
that
this
you
one, yeah.
took right here.
This is that night. This is around 6 o'clock or so
Mm-hmm.
in the evening. This is the start of the lineup for the Star Wars panel,
Okay.
and then this is the lineup for the Star Wars panel
Yeah. Just a few hours later, right?
that,
Yeah.
that I saw before I headed in. Now I was
Right.
in the front, so I had a really good seat. This is pretty good. Let's see if I can get a little bit.
I'll tell you in a second, Teresa. Hang on.
So we got a little Rosario coming out.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, she's sexy as hell. She can't help herself. She over there.
I was in the
lip
third
syncing.
row, so I had a really great angle.
That's cool. As long as people walk somewhere else, you would be.
Yeah, that was the most unfortunate thing, and of course, it was a panel for both of them, so
Yeah.
they're discussing things. And I'm going to show you the most annoying thing about being up there. You kind of noticed it already.
Yeah.
But,
the people getting up to take pictures. Yeah. You're right,
Right-
up
yeah,
front,
right-
and
right
the picture
there.
takers. Yeah.
that had to be the most, and it wasn't just random people; it was the crew that had to take pictures, for the event. Of course, I understood it. It didn't make me any less mad because it wasn't just me that was frustrated. To my left was the reserve, which like the VIP,
Mhm.
and they had like their names on their seats and everything like that. So they were, they got in front of everything,
Right.
which was very pricey. But yeah, that was a pretty cool panel. You could catch the whole thing online. I've seen that, but I had to
show us
see
the
that.
pictures, man, and then we're going to wrap this
Mhm.
up. While you find the picture you took with them, let me answer this.
Look, she's looking right at me. I don't
Yeah,
care what
she
anybody
is.
says.
Yeah,
She's
she was
looking
there to
right at
see
me.
you, obviously,
She
man.
was looking right at me. Okay.
Teresa, to answer your question, darling, I was in a movie called Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. It was directed by Peter Hyams, and it was filmed out of the Benton Courthouse. The scenes I was in, I was a courtroom artist. You can barely see me when they walk in during the courtroom scenes. I had long brown hair at the time. It was before my hair went gray, and yeah, you can see me in there. You'll recognize me. Teresa's known me a long time. Yeah, that's the one I was in. So. Yeah, check that out if you want to sometime. It's a good movie. Yeah, Charlie Cox, you got to meet. Very cool.
Yep,
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. And then of course this was the duo pick, and having Rosario Dawson on your arm is pretty nice.
Yeah, and laying her head on your shoulder. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Pretty nice feeling. Pretty nice feeling. So
I actually, this isn't the first time one of my friends has taken a picture with her, though. I have a friend of mine who used to do a lot of union work for Libby, and he ran into her at the Detroit airport, and they took a selfie together. And yeah, she's a sweetheart. She loves the fans, man. She does. She thinks they're great.
Okay.
Let's see. Eclay Thomas says she doesn't look good dressed up as Sam Spade.
She looks good in anything.
She looks good in everything. She could wear a suit of armor. I think she was hot, man. Let's see. I'll have to watch that. Yeah, go ahead. Go check that out. It's all right. It's good stuff. I'm a big Michael Douglas fan. That's why my wife was doing extra work at the time, and she got me into that one just because she knew I was a big Michael Douglas fan. So what do you got here? R2-D2? Was he driving around?
There you go.
Man, check him out. You know what's funny? That tells you how much the technology has improved, because every motorized one, they could barely control it when they made that movie, and they had to put a midget in that canister just to run it.
Yeah. No, this guy was he had a what's the best way? He had a long remote, not even long. It wasn't bigger than his hand, but it was a thin thing, cylindrical like looking remote, and that's all he did. He just walked around with that. Now there was a couple guys that I think they had more functionality on their droids, so they had like a bigger panel in front of them, and they had it like draped down. But no, that was pretty cool. And then of course I got this little guy right here too.
What else? Oh yeah. What is his name? He's the murder bot, isn't he?
I don't know if that's Chopper in particular, but I think you're thinking of Chopper.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And of course, I did get a photo with Natasha
Sabine.
Bordizzo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Natasha. She was super nice. I
Yeah.
had to wear my Star Wars shirt. I wish I had worn it during the day before. So this was Sunday, by the way.
Yeah.
So in the morning, I got to do the autographs with her, and I also did Dean Norris.
Okay.
Was the other one.
Okay.
And then there was a couple panels I went to. I don't know if you
Okay.
guys recognize these folks, but this is Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad panel. These are the folks from
Wow.
the show
Look at
that,
all these guys from
yeah.
Breaking Bad. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And then right after that panel, it was the Smallville panel again.
Hey, John.
So let's see which one has it. Yeah, here we go. So we had these two. Trying to find it real quick. Oh, here we go. It's this one right here. This cracked me up.
Oh, he's messing with the.
Yep, explosive diarrhea. And then, of course, I ended it how I began it with.
Yes, had to get the picture with the man.
I had to do the drum line. I asked him, and he was so cool that if you have time, they'll do whatever. The couple before me actually grabbed his leg. He actually gave him a leg, and they were holding his leg for the picture. Like he'll do whatever.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. He's a
cool.
really, really cool guy. So that was the last picture I have. So that was,
that's cool, man. So overall, what
Sunday.
would you give the Awesome Con out of 5 stars? Your experience, and this is the first time you've been to a con.
Yeah.
John, watch your camera. You're covering up half your face with your name, brother.
Yeah.
he's down there like a golem, trying to hide.
I would say a 4-star for sure. I felt like, and that would have been a lot lower had I gone for the Hayden Christensen or Rosario Dawson autograph. They had people that were waiting there for 12 hours.
Yes.
And still didn't get an autograph. They had to,
and that's a shame.
They had to wait until after that Saturday night panel because we were getting up to leave. Hey, goodbye, good night, everybody. Those that need an autograph, come over to the side of the stage. Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was another time slot for.
Where'd you go? Did you die on me, dude?
For clock, right? This is like 9. Oh, is it?
You dropped out for a second there. Yeah. I hear you now.
Okay, so there was people lining up at the front. They were like, "Hey, good night, everybody. Those that need autograph, come over here, and we'll take your the Rosario and Hayden will stay and get your autograph." I was like, I didn't know there was a time slot there. There was no mention of that. Mm-hmm. I found out the next morning while I was waiting in line for Natasha Bordizzo that it was the leftovers from the day before when they ran out of time.
Wow.
So they literally waited from 9:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night to get their autograph. And I'm like, that would have made, and there were people pissed about it. Like they got the surveys out the next day on Monday. And that's all they could, like, that was the number one thing.
Well, that's the whole point of why you paid extra to be for the VIP package, right?
To get the jump in the line. The problem, especially for that one, is everyone had jump in the lines.
Really? Wow.
Because when you did the premium package, you got one jump in the line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you went with a family, you'd give it to the people that actually wanted the signatures.
Right.
So you'd have a couple extra, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Or the parents won't care, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So there was a plethora. I didn't even use all mine. I gave mine away because I didn't even end up using all my jump the line passes.
Right.
A lot of people did that. Some people just left them on tables and just they were kind of useless.
Yeah.
So even they had to wait hours upon hours to get it.
The whole key to this is get there early, man. That is
it doesn't matter. It really, it does, but it shouldn't if you get the jump to the line or you get the VIP stuff. But not because you don't know when they're going to show up.
That's a fact.
The photos are time. The photos are like not like completely obviously, but they're almost like more set in stone.
Right.
The autographs, however, there's absolutely no timetable for that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't know when they're starting. You don't know when they get there. I got there at 9:30 and I stood in line at the Michael Rosenbaum one, and I didn't stay there the whole time. I left and did other things because eventually they put up a sign that said he'll be there at 11.
Right.
He didn't show up until 11:45. Tom Welling didn't show up until 12:45.
Good to see you, Henry.
You
Yeah.
know,
Go
so
ahead.
I mean, it didn't. Yeah, sure, it gets you in the front of the line, but to waste your entire Saturday on that, I know
Mhm.
it was raining outside, but man, still, I'm so that right there probably would have lowered my score a lot more if I had to endure that.
Yeah, I
I
imagine.
didn't. I thought I had it bad with waiting an hour or two
Well, you're going to a bigger one this weekend, bro.
for those two.
You're going
Right,
to
and
a
I
bigger
don't think
one.
the VIP is even going to be as good as this one. So, and I do have the VIP package for that one, but I think a lot of people have it. So,
Lunatic is in the
I did
house.
hear it
Good to
was
see you.
run a little bit better though. I did hear it was run a little better. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Just real quick, and then I'll be done.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I
Just
told
to
everybody you
showcase.
were going to give us a report, man. Yeah, go.
So that's it for AwesomeCon. Here's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for. Here's my. If you want to put me in,
Mm-hmm.
if I could put myself in, hang on.
If you can put yourself in, I will do it. Trust me.
Here we go. We don't need a new sound. So here we go.
Okay.
So the main three for me on this trip that I have prepaid for already.
Mm-hmm.
Ian McDermott, which
Mm-hmm.
is going to be the toughest one. I'm gonna try to get him on Friday. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'll get that lucky though. I'm gonna try to get him on Friday because he's there all 3 days, but I'll try to get him
Yeah.
on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Gina Carano, who I really,
Mhm.
really want to meet, and tell
Yep.
her, hey, I support you. Go get it. Go get Disney girl.
Right.
And then Richard Dean Anderson because I'm a huge Stargate SG-1 fan.
Okay.
So those are my three main ones. After that, it's bonus time.
It's bonus
Right.
time.
So Katie Sackhoff, I'd
Katie
really like to
Sackhoff,
get.
yes.
Charlie Hunnam, I'd like to get.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Rebel Moon.
Yep.
He's in Sons of Anarchy. He was in a King Arthur movie. You know,
Yep.
so I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Perlman, of course. You
Yep.
know, I'd like to get him.
Notice he's
Hellboy.
avoiding William Shatner at all costs. Notice this.
Well, no. So William Shatner is going to be the main draw of this one, right? He has
Right.
a $1,500 package for VIP service on that one.
Yep.
And that's a chance to talk to him at dinner, right? Which
Yep.
is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You should get a full steak dinner with him. But anyway, so I'm probably not going to try to go see him, even though I should take the opportunity because how much
You
longer
want to
can
know the guy that would be the top of my list at that one?
Mm.
He's 2 over from Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Edward
So
James
that's
almost,
another.
man.
I really think I have a good shot at getting him. He's probably like my 1A or 1B, I would say, because I really want to get his two. Ron Perlman, but then I definitely want him to get Edwards James almost. So, and then so those are the main ones that I want to get.
Clay says, make sure you wear your MAGA hat when you meet Ron Perlman. We don't want to get knocked pimp slapped, okay? That was a joke, buddy. Trust me.
Right. I'd really like to. This one's going to be a pretty popular one. I'd like to get him Troy Baker.
Yeah.
He voices Joel in The Last of Us in the video game. So
now, what city is this in? Just to tell our viewers.
Richmond. This is Richmond,
Virginia.
This GalaxyCon in Richmond. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
And then there's a couple of others that like I said, they all be bonus. There's a couple of Star Wars guys there. Writers of comics and books that I'd like to get, but the main three are the ones I mentioned at the start. Those are the main three, and then everything else will be bonus for sure.
Henry says he met him over in Dublin. He said, and he's laughing at Eclay's statement. He says, not American though, and he was different then, a lot nicer when he met him. Hey Janet, what are you doing? It's good to see you. Good to see you, darling. If you want in here to yak with us, let me know. I'll send you a link. Smash that like button. She's always trying to help me out. It's good to see you, darling. Well, that's great, Knock. I'm really glad that you had a good time. I knew you would. I
felt like I chose all the. I did learn a lot about. I made a whole schedule of all the events and things I wanted to do, and I did maybe a third of them, and because you can't really schedule, so it's more like guidelines and actual rules,
Pop culture stuff, Janet. That's what we're doing. We're going to talk about the NFL here in a minute, and then we're going to get into the Oscars and stuff. So
for it being my first major con, I really liked. I felt it was the perfect. It wasn't too crazy, wasn't too big. There wasn't a lot of guests there, so it probably didn't draw the biggest it could have. Like I think Richmond will be a lot bigger because they're actually the one thing I forgot to show you, which I think you would really like this part. I didn't make it quite down that far yet. Hang on, this is gonna be worth it. I promise. Okay. You, This will be absolutely worth it.
Okay.
Just
Stop teasing me, man.
I know it's
You're like
coming.
those people that tell me
Boom,
that
right here.
Kennedy's going to get fired, man.
Here
Teasing
you
me.
go.
Okay, what
Here
do we
you
got?
go. We
Oh,
got,
here you go. There you go.
Ric
You got the
Flair.
wrestlers.
We got
Woo!
Trish Stratus. We got Sting. I do kind of want to get Sting. Sting was my guy in
They would be
WCW.
cool. Yep.
So,
Lita, Dallas would kill
mhm.
you for Lita's autograph, man. Yeah, he would. He loves that woman. Sammy Guevara, Punk. Orange Cassidy, however, kick ass. If you've never seen that guy wrestle, he's different, man. He's really cool.
You got a little Matt Hardy, and then we got
Matt Hardy's
Rikishi.
cool. Rikishi, yeah. Barry Windham,
So,
yeah, dude. I know who all
this
these
one's a
guys
little
are.
bit more mainstream, so that's why I think there's going to be a lot more bigger crowds there with this one.
Yeah, there are going to be.
Definitely more mainstream stuff. So.
Lunatics, yeah, that's right.
So, like I said, might try to get some bonus autographs. We'll see.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you thought you hadn't planned out good. You only did a third of what you did. You're going to do a quarter of what you did.
Well, I looked at the schedule for this. This one doesn't have as many little events as the other one did. I think there's a lot more. No, I mean, I looked at the.
Oh, they're going to have panels. Believe that.
Well, no. It's not just the panels, but just there was a lot of different, like the Last of Us little thing that I went to, or that Mandalorian.
Right, that's cool.
Thing.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. There was a lot of those at AwesomeCon, and I really wanted to see a lot of them.
Yeah.
But not as many as this one. So this one's going to be mostly just panels and autographs. And I don't think I'm going to get any photos as far as professional photos, but we'll see.
Cool.
Definitely going to get some.
That is Lunatic. Knock knows him as Sears. That's our good friend Lunatic right there, Christopher Holly. He's saying delete, delete, delete. That's a Matt Hardy fan right there. Talking about broken Matt Hardy. Delete, delete, delete. Yes, absolutely. All right, man. Well, thanks for that report. I appreciate it greatly. Now, since John's here, let's go ahead and get into this one. Let's see. Oh, my gosh. Janet says, I hated the Oscars. Yeah, well.
Listen, maybe it's because I was drinking, but I enjoyed the hell out of
it. The show wasn't bad this year. It really wasn't bad. There was some cringe moments, though, and we'll get into that when we and
we know why. Here in a second. We know who caused those.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Kimmel can't help himself, man. That's just all there is to it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into free agency real quick. Our weekly NFL show isn't going on right now, but we're going to go ahead and clue you guys into the craziness that started before Wednesday. There was a lot of guaranteed stuff happening on Monday and Tuesday. Talks, that I guess, what do they call it? The tampering thing, and that was off on Monday, and they were able to.
And it really started Sunday if they had permission. It started on the weekend.
But man, let me tell you, a lot of crazy ass moves. The biggest one to me, the biggest signing to me was Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. I mean, that right there is huge for that football team, because we've talked about it. That's all that team's been missing is a quarterback, and now they've got, arguably a top 10, maybe even top 5 guy in the NFL.
We thought all we were missing was a quarterback. So, it's
that's true.
Doesn't always work out. Does not always work out.
We'll see.
We have what is it, Stidham, and we have Ben DiNucci on our
pretty obvious that you're gonna be pretty obvious that you're gonna be drafting a quarterback this year.
We have two career backups as our.
Meanwhile, in KC, they're just re-signing all their players.
The ones they should resign.
Right, very important. That's it exactly. What do you guys think the biggest moves made? I mean, the Texans have been signing a lot of people. Joe Mixon going there. I couldn't believe the Bengals let him go. He's been really good for them. So, I mean,
Tennessee's been doing some stuff.
Yeah.
They just got Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, they got Ridley. Who'd they pick up at running back? They picked up a running back as soon as they lost Henry. Henry's with the Ravens now, right?
Pollard.
Yeah, they picked up
Pollard
from
the Cowboys. That's right. Yep.
The Cowboys have done nothing.
They have done nothing at all. Yes, they haven't picked up anybody. But Knock, what do you? Okay, go ahead, John.
In unsurprising news, Raiders fired Jimmy G.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. They said, well, didn't they sign Minshew Magic? Didn't they sign him?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And as soon as Knock told me that, I was like, well, that clearly indicates that they're going to go for a quarterback in the draft too. So I'm sure we're going to see some trading up and some other things. But the Patriots are definitely going to take a quarterback with their pick at number 3 because they signed Jacoby Brissett, and the only reason why they'd sign him is to have a guy just in case their rookie does gets hurt or something. So yeah, what are the biggest moves that you think, Knock? What impressed you the most about this cavalcade of moves? I mean, man, dude, it's been coming nonstop. There's tons of them. What do you think?
I'm kind of looking through the list now because I kind of want to see a little bit more of what was actually done. I do like what the Titans did. They got Tony Pollard, they got Calvin Ridley, they got Awuzie, cornerback. So I do like that. Broncos didn't do a whole lot because they don't have a lot of money.
No, they don't.
They got a lot of dead space.
As a matter of fact, look, guys, I told Knock this earlier this week. Of course, Russell Wilson went to the Steel City. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler now, and they're going to Denver this year. So it'll be the first time in NFL history that a team will be paying the opposing quarterback $37.8 million to try and beat him. I couldn't help but laugh when I heard that. I was like, holy shit, you got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. Oh, man. Go ahead.
I do like what the Eagles have done with getting Saquon Barkley. We got Alberto.
The Giants are just dumb not signing him. I don't understand that. I mean, I know he gets nicked up, but that guy's their best player.
Looking at what the Commanders have done, these moves are crazy. They got Marcus Mariota on a 1-year deal. They got Austin Eckler, who is just a Swiss Army knife out of the backfield. Zach Ertz, tight end. Tyler Biadasz. I remember using him in Madden. I always called him the badass.
Yeah.
He was an awesome center in Madden for me. So they got him on it. So I think Washington has been killing it. And they got Bobby Wagner. They picked up Bobby Wagner today.
Who did?
The Commanders.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
My man's going to be playing linebacker in the nation's capital. Damn it. Damn it, son.
Yeah, just kind of looking. And, of course, Tampa Bay they kept Baker Mayfield. He got his deal.
He got paid.
What in the hell is Tim talking about? They may leave KC.
They're not leaving Kansas City.
Why the hell would they ever do that?
Okay, darling, I'll send you an invite right now. We're about to wrap the football stuff. Hang on, I'll send it to you. Go ahead, you guys, while I set her up.
I do like what the Texans have done with Joe Mixon. Dalton Schultz has always been really good. Yeah, I do like what the Texans they're going out. I found it hilarious. Mac Jones getting traded to the Jaguars for a 6th-round pick. That was
that's about as low as you can go.
Yeah, well, it's got to happen for Zach Wilson too, because they picked up
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, yeah. So Zach Wilson's on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Cowboys had one move. They re-signed Trent Sieg, the LS position. That's it. That's their only move. They re-signed one guy. That's it.
They don't want a new stadium. It all has to do with the Royals moving downtown. If the Royals move downtown, they're going to use that space and build this bigger stadium and build this complex around the stadium.
Yep.
But they're not moving if they don't get it.
I will never understand baseball affecting football in any type of way whatsoever.
Well, the stadiums are close to each other.
That dead sport
You can call it a dead sport all you want, man. People go to baseball, dude. They do
because they're fucking.
I know you hate it and everything, but they do. Okay.
Chiefs had some.
Needless to say, guys, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I say Chiefs. We didn't keep Willie Gay. He went to the Saints.
Look, you guys had one job. You had one job.
We signed Chris Jones.
That's
and we did.
That's it. Nothing else matters on that team. Yeah. What can you do? You could draft a wide receiver. Cool. That's it. Like
we're gonna keep Snead for at least a year.
Yeah.
We're going to we kept Mike Purnell, who's pretty much saved our butts in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. So.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Janet, that it's on X. I sent it to you direct message on X.
We kept Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him a 3-year deal from his 1-year deal, and because he turned out to be a better player than Willie Gay was. So
well, look, no matter what happened, you signed Chris Jones. That's the most important thing. That's the guy you had to keep. You kept him. Look, everybody's playing catch up. It's the Chiefs world, and we're all living in it. So it's up to other teams to beef up and take you on. So because look, you won a Super Bowl with the worst receiving core you've ever had last year. So that's going to do nothing but get better.
I don't think it was the worst ever. I don't think it was the worst ever. The worst ever was oh yeah, I know John remembers this year, that 1 year where they caught 0 touchdowns.
Oh, that's right. It was all running backs and tight ends. Yeah.
Yep. The entire and
that was all Jamal Charles and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I think what's his name? What was his name? He was actually a pretty decent wide receiver,
right?
At that time, I keep thinking Flowers. I don't think that's right.
No, that's.
I'm trying to think of what wide receiver you guys had at that time. Who was actually a really decent one for whatever reason. He got a lot of balls, but he never got a touchdown.
Yeah.
All right. Needless to say, and we will have much more to talk about on this on draft night. We will talk about all of this on draft night.
Yeah, so much stuff.
But we've got a young lady that I'm a big fan of coming in now, Janet from Another Planet. How you doing? So we're going to transition out of football here because I'm a big fan of Janet. So we're going to get on to some stuff she likes to talk about.
I was not too happy with the Oscars. I thought
really? Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to say it's been better than it has been the last few years. So they still have political moments during it, and we'll get into all that when we get there, but we got to do the pop culture update first. And first we got this story. I don't know if you guys have paid attention or not. And I know Janet is because she pays attention to things like this. The House has passed the bill to ban TikTok in the United States if they don't. Now, the whole thing is hinging upon the fact they want them to diversify the ownership. So it's not just the Chinese government owning them. That's what they want. And I don't think that's going to happen, but who knows? But this is going to the Senate next. There's no timetable on when. It says here that legislation passed with 352 to 65 vote, and which is clearly easily cleared the 2/3 majority needed. And it's going to the Senate next, and there's no timetable for its consideration on that floor. So what do you guys think of this? Are we going to see TikTok go bye-bye? Or is everyone going to have to start watching shorts and reels now? What do you think? Knock, I know you were talking about this earlier. What do you think of this?
I don't care, mainly because and I use TikTok. It's whatever, but TikTok has turned into mostly ad campaigns. So I'm ready for the next thing to pop up, whoever does it, and to finally get back to watching just funny videos and less ads, and then that one will get ruined by ads, and then I'll wait for the next one. So it's just going to be an endless cycle of waiting for the next one to come out where I don't have to see so many fucking commercials, because it's literally, at this point, it's just every single one is an ad.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is now.
I only use it for advertising. Janet, do you use TikTok at all?
Yes, I'm on TikTok. I'm almost at 10,000. What? Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to set this up so we can go live on X.
Oh, no problem. Do your thing.
I'm slow typer.
I'm already live on X, but yeah, I should still have it set up where you can stream, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it
Okay.
set up. I'm working it right now.
That's fine.
All right.
John, what do you think? Are they going to diversify their ownership so they can keep working in the U.S.? There's a lot of money involved, man. There's a lot of money involved.
It's going to go to the Supreme Court. It's going to get fought, and the Supreme Court's going to go, you can't dictate who owns a company.
Yeah, I was fixing to say that's what it seems like is going to happen to me. But
yeah, they're not happy about anybody purchasing it because this is their doorway into, I feel, to controlling a lot more of the rest of us, what we're doing.
Yeah.
No matter what we're on, whether we're going live on Telegram, for God's sake.
Yeah.
If they don't like what you have to say, then it's big.
Right. Exactly.
I know. I just got my channel back 2 days ago. So
really.
Yeah, because I got taken down for a little over a week because I did a video on the Friday Night Shit Show. We talked about Tucker,
which I love, by the way, and that's why it was on Rumble this week because you got shut down.
Yeah, well, I was on Rumble too. I've been trying to learn how to do it, but I'm not very good at it.
Yeah,
Bruce is helping me, but we talked about what the Surgeon General talked about on Tucker's from Florida about the DNA. Being able to be changed or whatever, supposedly from the jab, you know, and the Surgeon General of Florida is thinking about stopping everything until they can do tests and find out, you know, whether it's factual or not. And that's what we were talking about. What was funny is I had 3 people on my panel and they all went live with the same show. Yeah. And Tucker's channel was stood up for 3 weeks before I used it. And mine got shut down because of it. So for crazy, medical misinformation. So it's like, if you don't say what they want, it doesn't matter if you're a tiny channel like us or whether you're huge. Yep. You know, they don't like it. They're going to tell you to F you. Right. So I just did stuff on X and on Rumble and did my videos on TikTok. And I got a lot more followers just the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Due to not being able to be on YouTube. So there you go.
Well, I tell you, I just use TikTok. The only thing I use TikTok for is doing little shorts for advertising these shows. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's all I do that too. I do that. And I make a lot of stuff just exclusively for Rumble. Yeah. You know, it says and I put it in my Discord. I say Rumble exclusive, whatever. Like I did a snippet of me, you know, body paints and stuff, and I just did little bits and I put it here, but then I put the other stuff over there because I'm trying to build it up, because all the surveys I've ever done with YouTube that says, are you planning on staying with us and stuff, and I said no. I find somewhere else. You know, I don't need you guys. I mean, I have a video that's about to be 2 million views on Instagram, so you know I'm not going to kiss ass over here.
You need to you got to diversify just in case the axe comes down, right? You absolutely have to do that. I'm having a hard time, of course. Then again, all I do is I do these live shows. I don't do videos and all that stuff. I just do live shows, and so it's a little bit harder for me to build a following, you know, but I'll get there one of these days. All right, the next one we got, Knock gave me a heads up about this one this week too. Deadspin, the guys that they do an article about that kid that was a Kansas City Chiefs fan doing blackface, and they took the picture from like one side of him where it was only the blackface. Anyway, Deadspin. Let's see.
If you scroll down a little bit, it'll show it too.
Yeah, sure camera angles.
The GO media sells Deadspin, lays off entire staff, barely any notice amid blackface scandal. Yeah, it was this kid right here, and they used that.
That was the article.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress. And what's funny is the kid's face was actually half black and half red, and the kid actually is a Native American.
Yeah.
That's what's really funny about it.
Hold the phone, Joe. You know? Hold the phone.
What?
I need you to highlight the James Jardine. I hope I said his name right. I believe this is an excellent reason to watch the show. I really like this guy.
Only reason I'm on your shows because of the Broncos logo. There you go, man.
I think this is an excellent reason to watch the show. I like this guy. Forget that guy down below.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, these guys got shut down. They're out of there.
Taku's
I don't
next.
think it could have happened to a nicer bunch of guys, really.
Was it because they filmed the little boy that way on purpose?
Yeah, they wrote an entire
Good, they should
article.
get
This
shut
is the
down. That's
article right here.
bullshit.
Well, that's
look
if
it
you
up.
look at it. I don't know if Joe can blow it up a little bit more, but
Yeah.
that picture right there is the article that douchebag wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's misinformation. They
Yeah.
Right.
made that
You see the
kid,
angle. Exactly.
they
Yeah.
made
The
that
whole
kid
thing.
and his family look like racists, even when they weren't. They were just there to enjoy a football game.
And you know they got death
Root for
threats
their
and shit.
team.
Yeah,
You
know they got a bunch
angry
of grief over
letters.
it.
They
Yeah.
got canceled. Probably got kicked out of school and shit like that. Like,
Yeah, he
this
probably
shit
got
ruins
harassed
lives.
by everybody.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
bullshit.
It's good to see them get burnt, man. It's
Good.
really
I'm
good to see
glad.
them
Well,
get
About
burnt.
time somebody else got burned.
They've
besides
been
us.
they've been basically zombies since Hulk Hogan. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure. He put the screws to him too, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so next up, this one right here. That's kind of shocked me today when I heard it. Olivia Munn revealed that she's been battling breast cancer. She's had a double mastectomy. She was on the red carpet for the Oscars. Of course, her partner in life is John Mulaney, the comedian that actually I liked his bit during the Oscars. It was pretty good. He's one of those dry comics that I like a lot. Anyway, yeah, she apparently got diagnosed last winter and had all this, and she's coming out about it now to get people to get screened. So definitely,
Well, that's good.
yeah. It's
Save the tatas.
yeah, save the tatas, no doubt. Actually, one of the things the NFL does is they highlight the breast cancer on what is it, October? They all wear pink during October. Isn't that what it is? Yep. Yeah.
Well, now
So-
the NFL wants you to get tatas. They want men to get tatas. So they're helping all the way around. They're helping. They're very inclusive in the NFL now. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they are.
If we get rid of
They
that
actually have
wonder,
male. Believe it or
I
not, some
wouldn't care
teams
if they
have.
had tatas.
Yeah, they actually have male cheerleaders on some of the teams now. I think it was the Rams were the first ones that have one, wasn't it? I think. Pretty sure.
Not
Pretty sure.
not my area. Not my area. Of
I know it's
expertise.
not your area of expertise, but I remember seeing it.
I don't pay attention to the cheerleaders.
Yep.
Well, Hooters will wait on you with a guy.
That's it.
I just sent you some breaking news, Joe. It's
Oh,
football
man.
news, but it's breaking right now.
It's breaking.
What's that?
I'm not
I
even
said it
gonna
on Twitter. I said it on Twitter. Send it
I wanna
directly
see
to you
it
on
live.
Twitter.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna look it up. I'm not even looking anything up. I want to see it live. Live reaction.
Let me see. Notification.
Oh man.
I don't have it. You sent it in a message? Oh yeah, you did. Okay, send a photo.
Oh, what is it?
Oh,
You are the
man.
worst. You're the worst. Look at this. They're messing with me about my football team.
Oh, the water boy.
Robert Boucher Jr.
Oh man.
That's
That-
talking
that'd
about
be-
the
We're
Oh,
winning a Super Bowl
Hey,
now.
I love this.
We are winning a Super Bowl.
Is that
now.
a tweet? Is that a
No,
tweet or
it's-
an
yeah,
X?
he sent it to
some
me in
meme.
message.
It's probably on that.
Oh, I love that. I'd like
They
You
to
want
do
a
have
that
that.
all
copy
the
of it?
time.
Hang on a second. I'll get you.
They
a
do
copy.
that all the time.
I'll send it to you. Let me get through the show and I'll send it to you after that.
Sorry, I saw it popped up and went, okay, I can't.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Man,
That's great.
I thought you had something good. I had my hopes up for nothing.
That's good. I like that one.
But anyway, so let's see. Here it is. This is the next one I've got here, and then we're going to get into the Oscars, I think. I just wanted to point this one out. It was kind of strange. Don't know the reason behind it yet, but Marvel shocker, the X-Men 97 creator, Bo DeMeo, fired weeks before premiere, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter. In an unusual situation on the eve of the project's debut, writer-producer who worked on Moon Knight and Blade will no longer be promoting the show or moving forward with the future seasons. So that's kind of strange. That's
He
kinda-
got caught doing
Weird,
something.
yeah. Well, this
What
guy,
happened?
he's an openly gay black man, and he's had some spicy pictures of himself out there and stuff. There was rumor that he had started his own OnlyFans, but I don't think that's a fact at all. But that,
Yeah, but even if he did, that's not a reason. If you have an OnlyFans to not let him promote, it must be something.
they're being tight-lipped about it. They're
bad.
not commenting on it. All they're saying is, and he shut down all of his social media too. He has
Yeah,
shut down
that's-
all of his social media. So something happened. If he had asked for too much money, why would he shut down his social media? He'd be blasting him on social media, right?
Somebody's got something on him.
Yeah.
He sent some pictures to an underage person or something.
Something.
It's something going along those lines. That's the only reason why he dropped out of social media, and they don't say why. They just cut him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not saying anything about it. There's no comment about it, but yeah, they've whacked him. It's really strange, man. It's really strange. Yeah. So let's see. I had a couple of more about comic books, but I do want to mention this one. Our guy Ripa, he got this was his first comic book to reach $1 million in 24 hours. It got there faster than all the other ones he's put out so far. A lot of people have been looking forward to this one ever since she appeared in the first Ison book. And so real kudos to Eric July. He's a big inspiration to me because, I'm trying to do my own thing with my comic book. So yeah, man, he's a real inspiration. Hats off to him. I think it's fantastic that he's doing it. And I do want to go ahead and push Gary's book too. You guys, I'm going to put this in the a link in the chat for you guys. Go check this out. And I'm going to play the trailer real quick. This is Gary Kissel's Vindicated Inc. This is a comic book that's near and dear to his heart. It has to do with
you just pasted the StreamYard instead of copying the.
Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. No. Okay.
Yeah, I'll share it on my time.
I'm messed up here, aren't I? Let's see. I've got it. I should have it. Let's see.
Just refresh the page.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay. There it is. Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm such a goof. I think I'm good at this. I need a producer is what I need. But anyway, there's the link. You guys, if you have the means, check out this book right here. And I'm going to put it full screen for a second. So if you need to get a drink or something, do that panel. It'll only take about a minute for this. And check this out. Oh, but you know what? It is not going to work too well unless I put sound to it. So hang on. I will do that right now. I'm used to doing things without sound on this show, but I want to do this one for sure today. Okay. There we go. Now you can hear it. Check it out.
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comics, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something that's near and dear to Gary's heart, man. He's a vet, and he was a medical guy. He was a combat medic, and saw a lot of guys like that. So that's why he created his comic book hero to be that way. So you guys, if you have the means, go check it out. The link's in the chat, and it's also going to be in the description of the video when it's up on the replay. So definitely go check that out. Okay. Yeah. So we're to the movie part. Let's take a look at the box office numbers from this weekend, like we always do. And number one at the box office this weekend, guys, was Kung Fu Panda. It wasn't Dune Part 2. I figured it would be Dune Part 2, but it's not. It's Kung Fu
Yeah.
Panda got it by
Well,
about
wouldn't
11
you think that
A lot of
family
kids.
movies would be the
Yeah.
ones that would make the most money?
Yeah, I mean they're doing better than most of them are
Well,
nowadays.
that's good. People should be spending time with their kids. So I
Yeah,
think that's
but
great.
you know this is a really good franchise. It's the fourth one. It's Jack Black,
Yeah.
and I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan. I dig the guy. I think he's
I
great.
think it's awesome.
I love his music. I love all that stuff. And
Peaches is my favorite.
what's that?
I need more peaches. I want
Need more pieces?
He's got a few choice songs, but he's talented and he deserves to have success.
Yes, he does.
He's worked hard.
Then we got
And funny.
Imaginary. That's a horror movie about a killer teddy bear.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
it
awful.
was. And then Cabrini and Bob Marley's One Love is still in the top 5 this far past Valentine's Day. As a matter of fact, it'll be a full month tomorrow that it's been out. So it's been in the top 5 for a while.
Hey,
So that's
Henry,
doing good.
have a good one, Henry.
Oh, is he gone?
Thanks for coming,
Yeah,
Henry.
he's got to get up early. So yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
buddy.
he's across the pond. All right, man. You take care of yourself. Don't get in no trouble. You know what? He's leaving because we're about to talk about the Oscars. No, I'm just kidding. His politics suck, Clay says. Well, you know, he lives in a different part of the world, man. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see. Got that one right there. And I did want to show this. It does show some of the better moments from the Oscars. Let me put this up real quick. I've got sound. That's good. I'm just not sharing the right screen here. Hang on a second. I'm going to have to flip some things around here.
Well, even still, Clay, Jack Black's is in a different world.
What's that?
Clay was saying, no, I was talking about Jack Black. And
Yeah.
I think you still were too.
Oh, I
I still love Shallow Hal. That's still my favorite one.
Shallow Hell is great.
I just
That
love
show is
that
off
movie.
the damn
So
chain.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
it's so good. So realistic on men. And also the hot girl that's like thinks he's hot now that he's not interested in her, you know?
Right.
It's hilarious. I just think it's so realistic
Mhm.
when it comes to how men and women act, how stupid they act.
All right, let me play this real quick. This is some of the highlights of the Academy Awards.
I'm just happy that we can finally put this Barbenheimer rivalry behind us.
The way this award season's turned out wasn't that much of a rivalry, so just let it go.
Should we give out some Oscars?
That's the worst thing about the
I'd like to
Oscars right
thank
there.
My terrible childhood and the Academy in that order.
We both tried to kill Batman.
This is great. This is great. He's right
That was-
there.
No. Then to whom have I been sending my tasteful nudes?
The male body is not a joke.
You wrestle naked. Why not?
Dude, I don't wrestle naked. I wrestle in jorts.
Jorts are worse than naked.
Thank you to Greta. I love you. Thank you for this.
It's Barbie and Ken. Even if neither one of you wins an Oscar tonight, you both already won something much more important, the genetic lottery.
No shit.
That's the whole reason I watched it.
Yep.
Yeah, slasher.
Felt so much joy making this movie,
And Wolfgang
I
Van
like
Halen.
this guy.
that joy.
I like
and they're
him.
out there. I promise you, the next Martin Scorsese's out there, the next Greta's out there. They just want a shot, and we can
Was
give
that
them.
early on? I don't remember him.
long I've always wanted to be different.
I think I missed these
Now I
first these
realize
two.
I just need to be myself.
My dress is broken. I think it happened during I'm Just Ken.
For better or for worse, we're all living in Oppenheimer's world, so I would really like to dedicate this to the peacemakers everywhere.
Movies are just a little bit over 100 years old. We don't know where this incredible journey is going from here, but to know that you think that I'm a meaningful part of it means the world to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, very cool, very cool. So let's get into it. They put on a show for us, and I don't know. It was okay. Look, let me put this in perspective before I talk about it. Just so you guys will know where I'm coming from. There's three things I watch religiously every year, and I haven't done it with this one until just recently. Last year, when I started doing pop culture shows, I started watching it again. But when it started getting political, I stopped watching this show. And I used to watch it religiously. I watched the Super Bowl religiously. I watched WrestleMania religiously. And I watched the Academy Awards because I always wanted to be an actor when I was a kid, you know? And I just, we all know what's torn down the Hollywood celebrity. It's been social media. We now know that they're just big as idiots as we are, and so the motif, the shine's off of them now. But I still love the Academy Awards when they celebrate film, and they're starting to get back to that. It's a long way to go. I mean, the work. I think they really bottomed out when they had the three uh, ladies do it 2 years ago. It was Wanda Sykes, who is abrasive as hell, and then you had the joke stealer. What's her name? The
Amy
blonde,
Schumer.
Amy Schumer. Had her on there,
Awful.
and then poor old, the last one, McCartney. Is that her name?
Melissa McCartney, yeah.
Melissa McCartney. I like her, but she had two people that she really shouldn't have been on the stage with because they're just horrible individuals in my book. But that was the worst.
Isn't Amy Schumer the one who's having all the medical problems right now?
Yeah, she's gained weight too. I mean, and
that might be because of the meds that she's on.
It could be. Yes, absolutely. You remember when Jerry Lewis was taking medication later on in life? He
It's
had
your
a moon
liver and your
face.
kidneys and all. They have to try to
They
filter
get
all
something called
the
moon
steroids
face,
and stuff
where
out. Yeah.
it makes it look like their face is a lot fatter.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we had the award ceremony itself. I mean, it had its highlights, it had its lowlights. I didn't watch the opening monologue till today, and that's something they need to work on. Kimmel is, I don't, well, I do know why they keep hiring him, because he's their mouthpiece. It's ABC that puts it on, and actually his wife, which I have an article about that here in a second, is a co-producer of it. So they really need to get somebody else, though. I mean, I watched it last year because Chris Rock was on it, and I love him as a comedian. So I figured, hey, maybe they're getting a comedian so they can start celebrating film and get rid of some of the politics. And I counted.
And I heard he slapped too. He was very good.
Yeah, he slapped. He sure did. Actually, he received a slap, is what he did, which he shouldn't have. We all know about that story. But as far as the show itself, I thought they did a good job. Really liked, the things you're going to remember from this broadcast, not the movie season itself, but the broadcast itself, the awards, is John Cena come out there naked, which, by the way, I hate to tell it to you girls, but he wasn't naked. He was not completely naked. Let's see, where is it? There.
It's a little thing they put on actors when they're in love scenes and stuff.
Right, exactly.
Right in place, but it goes up your ass.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
This was
it's called a modesty patch.
Watch your eyes. This was him backstage with his little thing on. Yeah, he wasn't completely naked, which you knew he wasn't. So, that's going to be remembered. The whole friggin' Ken thing was great. Even had Slash from Guns N' Roses out there with him and stuff.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. I thought that
it had the actual people from the movie too. It wasn't.
Some of the Kens that were dancing out there were the Kens in the movie. Yeah, they definitely were. One of them's the kid that plays Bob Marley in the new movie, as a matter of fact.
Well, what were the numbers?
Huh?
What were the ratings?
I don't know. I
tried to look it up. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything on it yet. It'd probably be another week, but it's funny. Streaming and television shows, they don't put those numbers out till like a week later. So yeah, I didn't even look for them today because that's how long it takes usually. But the thing I was the most happy, and the person I was the most happy for, was Robert Downey Jr. I'm a big fan. I was so glad that he got his due. But what I hated about that damn monologue was Jimmy Kimmel. ribbing him about his drug use. You know, he let him do it once, right? He said, "You're on the nose," and then Jimmy starts digging into him, and clearly Robert's doing this. He's like, "Go ahead, move along," you know. And he made another joke about it, and he just stared at him. You know,
well, the
like,
thing is,
dude.
he lived it. Okay,
Yeah.
he doesn't need to relive it.
Right.
And the thing is the fact that he's doing well now. He's working hard on himself, and that should be rewarded. You shouldn't constantly throw it up in your face, especially if they've been proving that you know they've overcome something. And it's just like inviting an alcoholic to your house, right? An ex-alcoholic, and then having bottles of booze sitting everywhere, constantly reminding them that they're an alcoholic. It's bullshit. And I don't know why people do that. And that's exactly what he was doing, basically.
Just remember, Janet, that when you're not funny, right, you have to go after other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Jimmy Kimmel. He's not funny.
Yeah.
So he tries to go after, but
I don't like him.
then nobody's laughing. So
this was Robert Downey Jr.'s night, and he's trying to just it sucked. I thought it was really low class, all the good stuff.
Well,
you know,
the best moment of the Oscar though was
Al
Mr.
Pacino.
Freeze.
I agree.
Mr. Freeze and the Penguin
Yes.
facing off with Batman.
Yes, with the Batman, Michael
All
Keaton.
three of them. Even though
awesome.
one wasn't on stage, I thought that whole interaction was kick butt.
Yeah, it was. Mike played right into it. He was like,
He did. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
If they don't turn around and look at that and go, you know what, we need to go ahead and make Batman Beyond.
Yeah, right.
They're
Do it with
idiots.
Keaton, right? Because he's supposed to be an older Batman in that story, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, that would be cool.
And then of course, you know, their dialogue between each other was like, you know, how did you die? Well, Batman found out who my weakness, and he was like, what, fire or heat? He's like, no, love. He's like, oh, well, he threw me out a window.
How you doing, Bone? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, I enjoyed the show. Now I counted 4 political things that he said, or excuse me, 4 political moments in the show. Now 2 of them couldn't be avoided. One was for the movie A Zone of Interest, was has to do with somebody living outside of a concentration camp and an interaction between them. And so Gaza was brought up for sure. That whole thing was brought up, but it was rather small, really. And then one of them was a documentary, I think, and it had to do with the Ukraine. And of course, they talked about that, which, I mean, once again, it had to do with the subject matter. But the part that really, the guy can't help himself, Jimmy Kimmel actually reads an actual tweet from Trump and tries to make a joke about it when he's clearly showing his TDS when he does it. You know what I mean?
It was True Social.
Yeah, it's Truth Social.
He doesn't tweet.
Well, okay, Truth Social, whatever the hell it is. It was a social
no
media
false information,
post.
Joe. We'll get canceled. Okay, if you give
I
false
don't
information, all right?
For false information at all. No, I don't want to do that. But it was an actual post by Donald Trump on his social media network, and he tried to make a joke out of it, but you know, what did he say? Isn't it? Aren't you up past your jail time? I think is what the joke was. And dude, no. What was funny was as he read it, I'm listening to what he's saying, and I'm like, you know, Donald Trump's funnier than you are, bro. He is. He's a lot funnier than you are.
He's a quick guy, man. He's quick.
But according to this article from People, Jimmy Kimmel's wife says she tried to stop him from reading Donald Trump's comments. And I was totally off. She said, he said, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And what's even funnier is the next night he's on his show on Monday night, and he's still railing about it with Robert De Niro as his guest. We had John Cena naked, and somehow Trump managed to be the biggest dick. Well, he was. You think that because you read it out loud on friggin' stage. You didn't have to do it. But, you know, it's ridiculous. You know, these guys, I don't understand what, you know.
He's creating his own content.
I think Jeremy, yeah, exactly. He's promoting the guy's stuff for him, just pulling shit like that. I'm like, I think Jeremy from the Quartering said it best, man. He said, most normal people, whenever they don't agree with who became president, they pine away and hope for the next election. They don't go on like this. You know what I mean? And these people just freak me out.
That's why they call it Donald Trump syndrome.
Yeah, Trump derangement
Which was
syndrome.
funny to me.
TDS.
What kills me about all of it is that all of these people used to love him.
Yeah,
until
they used to.
Went down the escalator, and then it was like, F you, Trump. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I put up with presidents that I didn't like, but I didn't walk around going, oh, my life is good. It's just bullshit. It just sucks. I'm sick of it. I cannot wait till they shut up.
Well, I don't, the only time I see Kimmel on my television set is because ABC is the local affiliate we watch for news. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if we come in late from somewhere, we leave the TV on. Don't laugh. My wife leaves the TV on for the dogs. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that.
Yeah. And if we come in late, he's on TV. I'll see what's going on, but yeah, the guy's not funny at all. They need to get another host for that show. They need to get back to
nobody wants to do it. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
No, but it's like a stain on your resume, basically.
Yeah.
When you have to do
when
the
you got a guy like Chris Rock, it's not a stain, right? That's what I think they need. They need to hire some better comedians, some guys that are bigger known, not some up and comer. Really, if they want people to watch the Oscars, hire Ricky Gervais to come in and do the Oscars.
I was just about to say
they would watch that.
Never going to bring.
I would watch the Oscars if Ricky Gervais.
Right.
If they brought in like Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, just a big name comedian,
somebody or Ron White. Mm-hmm. I mean, somebody that makes people laugh. Right. I think it would be great.
But I mean,
we'll see.
The pendulum's swinging back. It's swinging back. It's going to take a while longer, though.
I got it, guys. I got it. So twist toast, right?
Okay.
Shock everybody. Will Smith.
Will Smith. Have Will Smith host the Oscars.
Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Come on.
And then Chris Rock can come up and slap him.
Yeah. Hashtag Will Smith now.
That would be funny. But see, I don't think we will. It's not on. You don't want that on your resume.
Yeah.
It's okay for Jimmy Kimmel because his wife is a producer. Yeah. See, it doesn't hurt him as bad.
Well, Kimmel doesn't care. I got news for him though. There's a reason why ABC hasn't extended his contract. He's in the last year of his contract, and they haven't re-signed him yet. It probably hinged a lot on this show. A lot of it probably could have.
They probably said, if you want the rest of your money for your contract, you need to do this show.
Right.
You have no choice, buddy.
No, I guarantee you he wanted to do this. What's going on, Wookie? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Hey, Wookie.
But there was a few more moments I dug in it. Of course, I know John loves this one. Godzilla -1 got recognized for best special effects. And I thought that was cool as hell because tell me again how much that movie was made for, John?
It was made. They haven't released the exact figure, but it's somewhere a little under $10 million.
A little bit under $10 million.
Yeah,
and it had graphics in it that look better than most of the Marvel movies that come out now.
Mm-hmm.
They because they said they were talking to the director, and he said they said that you did a lot with 15 million. He goes, 15 million. I wish I would have got that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That really hit home what that American fiction writer said. Hang on a second. I got to get this guy's name because he really impressed me. He impressed me on the red carpet, and he impressed me when he got up there and got his award, and he said, you got to take chances on these filmmakers. You got to get, we know making movies works in this town. They want something bankable. They want he said, we need more of you to take risks like they took on me and on this movie. He said, instead of making a $200 million movie, let's make 10, $20 million movies or 20, $10 million movies. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was beautiful what he said. I was like, man, that's right. right there. I mean, because some of the best movies you'll ever see was made for $10 million.
They don't want to do that though, because they can't tell the writers what to write and all that stuff. An independent movie, you have to have people like us that will donate to help make those movies, and they don't want to do that because they don't have any say.
Yeah,
they can't. The agenda's not theirs, so they don't want to see those made. Those are my favorite movies. You know, I love independent movies that you could tell the costumes aren't perfect, the special effects aren't perfect, but the thing is, it's the heart behind it, and it comes across on film. People that really want to see a story told, and it's one of those ones that you leave and you go, damn, that was good. You know, that was a good movie.
Absolutely.
And you just don't see that hardly anymore because Hollywood has turned into Holly Weird, and it's what we say you like, whether you like it or not. Cram it down your throat, buddy. You know, that's basically what I'm sick of that crap. That's why you guys are my entertainment.
Yeah,
I watch all my YouTube friends and watch their shows and get entertainment from that and support you by watching you, right? But that's where I get my stuff, because Hollywood has slammed the door in my face. So basically, I don't want to watch your crap.
Well,
I mean, it's very few movies that are good anymore.
Yeah, I got to tell you though, Hollywood's always been a weird place. They're just out of the closet with it now. It's always been a weird place.
I like it when they try to hide.
And I know it was a little cringy, but cutting them off, you know, I'm just saying there was others that went longer.
Yeah,
there was others that went longer, and yet they cut off the Asians. That's all I'm saying. I don't. You can't claim to be inclusive if you're going to cut them off. Just
I do remember that.
He was trying to speak English. It's not an easy language to speak, you know, and he was trying. He had his paper. He was reading from it, you know, and they turned the music on him, which they didn't do for anyone else. As far as
you
I
didn't
know.
agree with me when I said it, but we watched this together, Janet. We were all in Discord together watching it, and I said they should have had he should have had an interpreter. That way he wouldn't have stumbled through it. He wouldn't have stumbled through it, you know,
but they cut him off. They cut him off when others went longer. But
they were the only ones that got played off the stage. Yeah, they were. Yep.
Yeah, inclusive indeed.
Yeah. And see, the stage director, the people involved in setting all that up would know that he has trouble with English. How are we going to do this? Give him an earpiece, anything. There's so many
I guess
done for him.
It wasn't in his budget. It wasn't in his budget to get an interpreter. You know, if they had gotten that,
they had on that stage that night, and that's not in their friggin'.
If he had that 15 mil, he could have gotten that interpreter. You know.
Bullshit.
Tim says he thinks that the Oscars did that on purpose. I don't know what the purpose would be to watch a guy stammer through the beat.
Push their weight around. They enjoy that shit, just like Kimmel did.
They just got spanked by a $10 million. They got spanked by a $10 million movie.
They didn't like that, did they? They didn't like the Academy voting for something that wasn't made by Disney or Warner Brothers or something like that. It was a Japanese movie that got best special effects. I'll tell you something that chapped my butt though. When who was it? I think it was, it was Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling when they were up there together. They were talking about stuntmen, and they basically just glazed over it and then walked off the stage. I mean, they showed some stunts in a video package, but they didn't give out like a lifetime achievement award to Hal Needham or something like that. I'm a big stunt fan, Janet.
It was an honorable mention.
It was just an honorable mention. They said, "You guys do great. See you later." You know, and I'm like, and I heard one argument that maybe they don't want to be seen. Maybe they're the guys in the background that don't want to be seen. I find that hard to believe. I think if they gave out an Oscar for the best stunt, they'd be up there, they'd be in the house and accept that live. They would.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. But the thing is, it would be that, okay, normally in the Oscars, all the little crap is done off camera, you know, like
the science awards. Yeah,
the
science of movie making awards are. Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
so they do it separate. They don't put it in there because they don't think it's worth the TV. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That type of stuff. I remember, what was it? American Werewolf in London won that award.
Oh my God, yeah, makeup.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
because I've always loved horror movies since I was a little kid, and I just loved. I thought that was great, and
Yeah.
it just seems like through the years after that, it's like if they're not the ones in the limelight, certain people, then they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's like
I hear what you're
nobody
saying.
else matters. But you can't make. I mean, I tell people all the time, sit and watch the credits. At the end, there's actually thousands of people involved in making even a short film.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hundreds of people are involved because you have to have so many people do so much stuff. Even the crafty person, even if they're just bringing ding dongs and hot dogs, and bottles of Coke and ice and Band-Aids and whatever else to keep the short film people stacked up with something to eat to keep their energy levels good so they can do all the little work. And then you got the editors and you got the sound people. You got all these people doing so much work and nobody gives a shit about them. But guess what? The stars look good because of all these other people. That's the people, the backbones of movies.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. To their credit, they did acknowledge them in the opening part of the thing when they were talking about the strikes. They called everybody in from the back that was working on the production and showed how many people are back there working on this thing to put it out to everybody.
Yeah.
And
good.
It was a cool part of it, but the only problem with it was Kimmel doing it. And he had to say something snide afterwards and stuff. And I'm like, man,
because we did talk about this too while we were watching it. It was like, man, I want to, who's the best caterer? Which TV show had the best caterer?
Right.
I want to know who the best boy was.
Well,
best boy.
It was a set I was on one time, and Hugh Jackman came in, and he had scratch-off tickets for all the crew, and he started walking around passing them out.
Yeah, I bet
awesome.
Stuff like that. So there are big actors that actually give a shit and understand the work it takes for all these people to be up for 12, 14, 16 hours to make sure this production is done and done the way it should be done. Script supervisor, that's a huge job for someone to make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to on screen at the time they're supposed to be doing it, and that they're doing it as the script tells them to do it. Okay. Yep. And if the prop person is this one, screw her. I don't care what she says. This is what I want on there. They're not doing their job. And then the director later on goes, why didn't you make sure they did their job? Well, I tried to. You see, it's just a bunch of people butting heads because there's a bunch of personalities that want certain things done their way. And each person has a job for a specific reason, just like everyone could kick ass and do great job. And then it all goes to the editor and the editor goes, it doesn't give a shit, and then the whole movie's shit because he had a bad editor. So
let's make it lame. Let's make it lame and gay.
So everyone should get an applause. That's why when you win an Academy Award, it's supposed to freaking mean something. It's the best picture because everybody, the director, the writer, the cinematographer, the stand-ins, the extras, the costumes, everything, all down the list did their job right. That's why it won. See, that's how it should be looked at. But
I was about to. Tim said what I was going to let you finish, but Tim's saying exactly what I was going to say. You don't do your job right. If you do your job right, something they didn't hear on the Rust set. Yeah,
that's exactly true.
You
that's
do
what
your
happens.
job wrong. Sometimes people can get hurt. And who was it made that statement earlier? Yeah, it was Tim. He says stuntmen have died for their art. Yes, they have. Some of them have. It's never that is not their intention. They're not trying to kill themselves. They're trying to survive these crazy ass things, but some of them have died doing things. But I just wish they'd get back to, and it's leaning that way. The Ken segment was dynamite. That's what the Oscars is all about. It's all about celebrating film. And those of us that love movies, I mean, we may not like the stuff that's coming out now, but we're rooting for stuff to get better because I know I've loved movies my entire life. I mean,
me too.
There's always something good coming out. I mean, what did we see that was good this year? Well, Godzilla -1, which I still haven't seen yet. I have not heard one person say one bad thing about it. I
would disagree with it. Yeah, I would disagree with that statement because I definitely did not.
Yeah, he couldn't get into it, but you don't think it was bad? It's not that.
Not necessarily. It's just definitely not what you think when you want to. If you want to watch a Godzilla movie, you don't watch Godzilla -1.
Right.
It's not
Well,
really.
I had heard that if you took Godzilla out of the movie, you would still have a great post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, no, it's a great dramatic
Japan
piece,
movie.
but
Yeah,
because it's about the guy, it's not about the creature.
right. Yeah. And I tell you, when I was younger, Johnny Carson friggin' did it a lot. When I became a young adult, it was Billy Crystal was doing it every other year. And the thing I loved about Billy's thing, because it was that they would have a 20-minute intro before he even talked, and it was all stuff with the movies. He was in the sets where they did them and stuff like that, and it was freaking great, man. It was funny as hell. The guy really went all out to make it great, and they're just not doing that with the. I mean, like I said, I used to watch it religiously. Then when it got more when I was a kid, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, I remember when that girl got up there for Julia and started giving some kind of political speech when I was a kid, and they booed her off the stage. They didn't want her on there. They didn't want you talking about politics.
When it used to be about the movies, that's when it's good. Yeah. When it becomes all about their clothes and the actresses and the actors and stuff, and that's all they talk about, the people that are on stage, it's no longer about movies. See, we want to see the little things where they talk about how they made this movie and this certain effect or this stunt and things like that. And they bring that up on stage and they actually go into detail about it, even if it's not a movie that's even nominated. It's the fact that everybody was talking about, wow, did you see that cool scene? That explosion was freaking awesome. People were talking about it. The movie wasn't nominated, but they still have a little tiny vignette about that one stunt. Because it's about freaking movies being made and people going to see them. That's what the Oscars should be about. And when they do that, it's just more entertaining for everybody.
Yep.
One skit that I'd like to see come back, and they could do this every year too, and it could be at the beginning of the show or whatever. They need to bring Kevin James back and do the little skits where he's in the movies, playing a role in the movies as like on a green screen or something like that, and he's reacting to the movie scene. Okay. Have you ever seen those videos? Have you ever seen those videos where he does that, where he puts himself in a movie?
I don't think I have.
Oh, they're hilarious. And then basically so all the movies that are up for nominations, he puts himself in a scene in those movies. That'd be the skit.
And who is this? Does this?
That's Kevin James.
James?
He's done it before. No, the videos that he did, he was the sound guy. That's what it was. He was the sound guy. Let me see if I can find one for you.
Help me out here. Kevin James is the guy on Tropic Thunder that's the pyro guy. Is that him?
I don't know. I don't remember. The same guy.
He's in Zookeeper. He has the TV show King and Queens.
Okay, the big
Adam
guy.
Sandler's buddy. Sandler, he's in all the
He
Adam
was
Sandler
Paul Blart
movies.
Mall Cop.
Paul Blart. Yeah.
He's in one of my favorite movies. Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. Shit, yeah.
Yes,
that's a big bitch. Yeah,
that was a good movie. I laughed my butt off.
Yeah, that's a great movie, man.
So
I'm just pissed at the people that they left off of the In Memoriam.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and I think they said something about that too. I think they told them to go to the website to check out more names.
There you go, Joe. Do your
something
magic
like
on
that. Didn't they make a statement like that during the show?
I don't remember it. No,
I don't remember.
Where are you?
I put it in the private chat.
Oh, you put it in the private chat. Okay.
This is an example. This is he played the sound guy. That's what he did. But you can put him in any kind of role or whatever. But this is the skit. He did a bunch of different movies. So this one's Braveheart.
Oh my god!
A sound guy.
Really?
In
okay,
Braveheart.
we gotta watch this, man.
Yeah. So yeah,
let me set up to show something here. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. Okay.
So
I do
it right
here, Janet, to try and not get hit by the YouTube gods. I put it in a different screen and I do a couple.
Well, hey, you can do stuff. That's great. I think you're awesome because I barely even pull up an article. But I'm learning. I'm really trying to learn. So
I hear you. Let me go ahead and before I start sharing, let me go ahead and make sure it's past the. Okay, I wanted to make sure the ad wasn't going to pop up on it. Okay, so let me get the speed right.
But basically, every movie that's nominated, right? He would just play a scene somewhere in there. It'd be hilarious, and this would be an example of.
Okay, so this is the Braveheart one, huh? How long
This
is
is the
this?
Braveheart.
It's like a minute and 31. Okay, here we go. Here
Yeah.
we go. Here we go. Braveheart with Kevin James.
I'm dying in your beds many years from now. So we got a plane.
We got a plane.
All right, we'll take it again. We're good. Would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance? No. Sorry, guys. We got another plane. Sorry about that. It was a good take. Dude, it's going good now.
It was going good.
Well, it's a slow one.
Slow.
Good to go again. Let's do it. One chance. Just one chance to come back here and tell our Nope. No.
They're getting angry. The crowd's getting angry. It's not my fault.
We are. It's not going to be clean. I don't make the noise. I just record it. Keep going. Do the horse. Let's go. Everybody go. We're good. Let's get it going. That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. Guys, I'm sorry. Mel, I'm sorry. We got a helicopter. We got to wait.
We got a helicopter.
It's not good. Guys.
That really happens, all that shit.
Yes, y'all cut on the horse.
So that's what he does. So that's the skit. That's the whole
so
skit.
funny.
He goes into different movies, right? He interjects himself into movies, and then he's the sound guy. So imagine if he did that at every Emmys. There was a skit where someone, right?
Yeah.
For all the movies that were nominated, he would be in some kind of role. Like, I think that would be a funny skit. That's
it'd be great.
It'd be
He'd
awesome.
have his own stick to do each time he was on the awards. I think it'd be great.
A little stick, and it shows the different movies. It makes light of them. The actors and actresses would love it. You can get camera shots of them laughing. They love to do that, right? So
yeah.
Well, Billy Crystal used to do this a lot. Whenever he did it,
my mom
that
loved
kind of thing.
Crystal. Yeah. She loved him when he was doing the awards.
And David Letterman did it a couple of times, but when he did it, he was really good at it, man. Dave, I mean, look. The late night television show is pretty much dead. I don't know anybody that watches them on a regular basis. I mean, I can't believe Colbert has his own show at night now. That's ridiculous. Did you see the story where CBS told him not to put the cover of? They had Kirsten Dunst, or not Kirsten Dunst, Kristen Stewart. Is that her name? The one that was on Rolling Stone recently?
Yeah.
He had her on, and sure enough, they tell him not to show the cover of the Rolling Stone, and he does it anyway, live on TV. And it's just nuts, man, nuts. I can't remember the last time I watched the Oscars. Bone, I hear you.
I never have.
I used to watch it religiously until it got. I mean, I'd say since 2010, I haven't watched it on a regular basis until Chris Rock did it last year. That's when brought me back to watch it, because they had a comedian actually doing it that I actually liked and I really love. The
last one I watched was the one with RuPaul.
RuPaul was on it once?
Yeah, and I don't know if he hosted it, but he was on it, and he was talking to one of the other presenters, and he was rude and just horrible to this person. It was an old guy. Yeah, it was terrible. I wish I could remember.
Was he in drag?
Yeah, he was dressed up, I think, as a woman. Yeah, but the thing is, he was rude and nasty to the other presenter. And after I saw that, I turned the channel. I was like, I can't watch this crap. This is bullshit. So disrespectful to your elders and stuff. I mean, everything that my mom would have she would have been really upset about it. And I have 4 sisters, and I was the tomboy, so I was the one that got in trouble the most.
If somebody's trying to,
but you don't treat your elders that way. It was horrible.
Yeah, you can tell if somebody's trying to be funny, and you can tell if somebody's just being snide. And like last night with Robert Downey Jr.
That was rude.
Sunday, he was being snide to him.
Yeah,
and that's not cool, man. It's not.
Well, and I will premise this by saying that I was drinking, and I will also premise this with that when I drink, I enjoy things a lot more, and I'll premise that as well with that. I actually somewhat enjoyed She-Hulk while I was drinking too. So I can understand you guys taking anything I say with it. I will acknowledge that my view on this one's a little shaded because I enjoyed this while drunk and I enjoyed She-Hulk while drunk. So, if you guys want to rip on me for that, I completely understand.
They'd have to rip on me too. I enjoyed the show. I did. I just there's certain components of it I did not like. We talked about. Well, here's another thing they don't ever need to do. They don't ever need to have Al Pacino out on stage again.
Oh, that was a
They
shame.
don't. That was horrible. That was almost elder abuse. You want to talk about
this guy won,
being bad to your elder? If they can't say what they're supposed to say, you shouldn't even send them out there.
It was like a question mark. Oppenheimer won, I guess, and then that was like when they played the music. Like it was awful.
It was bad. They don't ever need to do that again with him. I don't ever want. I love Al Pacino.
That's what rehearsals are for.
Mm-hmm.
Rehearsals are supposed to help you weed out things that you don't need to have on the show, and then you find something else to replace it. Oh, and that's what you're supposed to do. But you could tell certain people that are in charge, just think that I can do whatever I want because I can just do it whatever I want because I'm better. That's their attitude, and it sucks.
There's an argument to be said that they're just not taking the pride they used to in it. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Because
their heads are so big, they can't see any other pride. All they see is themselves. That's the problem. Is that we can't see the beauty of art, which is movies, and music and scenery and costumes and all that, because their heads are so big, it's in the way of everything.
Right.
It ruins the whole movie. You cannot enjoy a movie with an actor whose head is so big that everything's about them. And it comes across on film, so it ruins it. And same thing for this show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I got to tell you, man. If I was going to give notes to whoever, Kimmel's wife, I guess, the co-producer. If I was going to give notes, first of all, fire your husband as the friggin' MC. Don't have him on there anymore. Hire somebody, at least. I'd say the lowest rung of comedian or entertainer would be along the lines of a Jeff Foxworthy. I think that's as low as you go. Go up from there to try and pick your person. If you can get Ricky Gervais, please get him to do it. Everybody would love to watch him do it again. You
need to get someone less controversial. Like
I thought he was good.
Like you got to get someone less controversial, like Dave Chappelle. Like I think that would be a perfect
less controversial. Did you just say that?
I love Dave Chappelle. I would watch him.
He's being sarcastic.
I know.
I mean, I would too. I would definitely love that.
Chappelle makes fun of everybody.
Yeah, he does.
He makes fun of everybody equally, so I could enjoy that.
Well, so would Ricky Gervais, and that's why they.
I know. I can enjoy that too.
Yeah,
as long as we even. It's great.
If
that's the problem.
Imagine if they had him co-host. You got Ebony and Ivory right there, right?
That would be really good. That'd
everybody can get behind.
Tag teaming.
That's like Gene Wilder, man. That's
Carrot Top for Oscar host. Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah. Hey, that'd be interesting. I've seen him a few times in Vegas.
Yeah,
and really good.
That would be different, no doubt. Ricky Gervais does the Golden Globes, so I don't think he would do the Oscars. He doesn't do them anymore. He said he wouldn't do them anymore after the time he did that rant where he told him, look, just get your little award and walk off. We don't care.
Yeah, he was fed up though, you guys.
It was great. Yeah. It was a great moment in award show history when he did that, because I mean, basically you need somebody up there like back in the day. It was Robin Williams. It was Billy Crystal. It was Dave Letterman. It was people that can look at these guys and go, yeah, your shit's not roses. Shut the fuck up. They're just not saying it, right? They're not saying it live on television, but they know better than to back talk them when they talk to them, because they'll tell them where to go, right? That's the thing. You need somebody that's up there, because Kimmel is obviously kissing all their butts. He's
except for Ronnie.
That's why he was
except for Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
To what you were saying earlier, it's an easy target, right? Yeah. His pass is an easy target, and that's just I hated it, because I'm a big Downey Jr. fan. I work in the rehab industry, and he's got a great story. It's one that's right up there with Gary from Nerdrotic. I mean, they're great stories of turning your life around. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And to see him do that to him, I was like, man, one joke's fine. And he was fine with that. You know, he said, you got it on the nose, man. And then he kept going. And that's when he went too far. But
Yeah.
anyway, but I'm going to keep checking it out because I'm covering pop culture now. I just would like to see that pendulum keep going back. Keep going back.
Oh,
There you go, Joe.
I would
Here you
like
go,
to have
Joe.
it in the center. I would like to have it in the center is where I'd like it.
no, that would be great if it was right down the middle where
Yep.
it should be.
Where it's just where it should be.
Entertainment. That's entertainment. See,
That is entertainment. What do you
This
got
is-
there, Knock? What do you got?
This is the picture
Yeah.
I saw earlier.
oh,
Yeah, that's him back in the day.
Mhm.
He admits it too, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's him.
But it's it's that from that
From
to
that, you know, they say I've
a
heard
journey,
this story, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that when he was going to try out for Tony Stark, he was living in his car. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true or not. I find it kind of hard to believe, but I've heard that about him. He was definitely in a down
I
period.
don't know, but I think that sounds like it could be pretty realistic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go. Roseanne Barr to present, no doubt. Yeah,
God.
I don't.
No, she's been canceled.
ABC, nah, ABC's never going to let her back on
No.
screen. Yeah, I
They
mean,
won't.
shit, they took her TV show away from her, and then
Right,
gave
yeah.
the rest of the cast. I'm like, oh man,
How'd that work out for him?
right? Yeah, how did it work out for him?
That's what I'm
nobody
saying.
watches that show.
So,
Nobody
yeah.
watches that show. Nobody.
But they don't care. See, they can lose $300 million on a piece of crap, but they'll still do it again before they'll hire that person. You see, that's
I don't know if they can keep doing that though. I don't know if Disney can keep doing
Disney keeps doing it, and Disney
I
owns
know. That's what I
ABC.
mean.
So
That doesn't make any sense. See, it's upside down world. It's like they don't live on the same plane as
There's
we
got to
do.
be a point where they're physically or not physically accountable. I mean,
well,
there has to be a point where that happens.
as long as they're getting backed by Blackwater or BlackRock,
Yeah,
and somebody should call Blackwater on them. But they should,
Yeah, Matt from Small Time Republic. It's good to see you, by the way, brother. Miss you on the show.
Yeah,
it said RDJ was phenomenal as Chaplin and Tony Stark. This was a Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah, that's what a lot of these end up being. For instance, I've said this several times. You remember when Clint Eastwood got all those awards for Unforgiven? He got director, he got Best Picture. They're just making up for not giving it to him for Outlaw Josie Wales. I mean, which is a much better movie. I mean, not to say that's not a bad. It's not his best movie though. I mean, you can't tell me that when they gave The Departed all those things for Scorsese, they weren't making up for not giving it to him for Goodfellas. I mean, I mean,
yeah,
that's his signature flick, but yeah, and they do the Lifetime Achievement thing. They do. Yeah, I did say do. So what?
Hey, so before we forget it, we gotta mention the music original song. What Was I Made For?
Yes,
by Billie Eilish was chef kiss. It was that like, and I told Joe while we were talking this. Well, when we were watching, it's like every time I hear that song, it's like, and it's her singing, it's like that's what you're made for. Like, there's no doubt about it. At 22, you got your second Oscar. This is what you're made for. It's to sing.
Mhm.
Like there's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Billie Eilish. My daughter turned me on to her, and of course, my favorite song she's done is "Bad Guy." That's my favorite one she's ever done. But I think she won her first one for the Bond flick that she did. I think she did the last one, didn't she? Didn't she sing for the last? I think she did. But yeah, her winning for the Barbie song, because what's cool about that song is it sounds like something that most females can identify with. I mean, I'm not female. You could tell me, Janet, you like the Billie Eilish song? Yeah, that one. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's all stuff from the movie. It's all stuff from the movie. So, and I'm one of those fools that went and saw that movie, and with my wife, I wore a pink Ken shirt. They all gave me shit about it, but I went, and
it's a great movie.
I was the only guy sitting in the theater and laughed my ass off. I thought it was funny as fuck. I really did. But
well, there was a lot to me. There was a lot of wokeness in it, but it was Ken and Barbie. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyone that's going to go see a Barbie movie thinking it's supposed to be about reality, it's not in reality, if you know what I'm saying. See, I have a problem with that. Okay, you know me. I play DD, right? I play Pathfinder. I play out every Saturday. I play live on the internet. So I'm into role playing and stuff. And I understand it's a game. Okay, it's not reality.
It's not reality.
But the thing is there's a lot of people got mad when I was telling them I went and saw a Dungeons and Dragons movie, and I stood up and applauded at the end. I was so happy. It was so fun. The big fat dragon, and I was just going to town. I was just having a great time. It was great. I just loved it because it felt like I was actually in my game. Okay. And live, and I could roll giant dice or whatever. It was just freaking all But they got mad at me because they were saying how this, that, and the other about the people that write these games and all, they just get all this technical shit. And I'm like, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
That's all it's supposed to be.
Well, don't ever let anybody. One of the rules on my show is you don't ever poo-poo anybody for what they like. Okay. You have every right to like whatever you want. And I've got to tell you, I'm with you on Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't cheer, but I enjoyed it. It had some inside jokes for those of us that do play those games.
Yeah.
And they've tried to make a Dungeons and Dragons movie several times. And it really hasn't done well. And that one, I don't know what happened. Did it go up against something bigger, or was it just the COVID era that killed that movie?
It was the COVID era.
I think it was just COVID, but
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie, but
it was refreshing for me. The scenes where they the coin to talk to the dead people, I had that token, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool to see me be able to do that and get to see what would happen in the game in reality without being in my imagination. I'm just telling you, this stuff like that to me is entertainment, and it's not meant to be real. It's meant to be entertainment. So
Knox says that all the time. He
could separate it.
He uses that as a defense on some of the stuff that he likes a lot of the time. He's like, I'm going to be entertained. Like, for instance, the Madam Web movie, we both went and saw it because there's hot chicks in it. I mean, I'm going to go see things with hot chicks.
I haven't seen it yet.
It had big plot holes and it was a garbage movie, but I was entertained.
And John is a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I don't hold it against him. Okay, his boy, Travis Kelce, and his new boo.
Right?
It's a great story. It's a great story. So when John gets us a live feed from his next Taylor Swift concert, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it.
I like this one. Nerdy Ogre says what they needed to do was to have the main character die and then introduce another character played by the same actor. That's awesome.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Yeah, that would have been a cool inside joke right there. Knock was practically at the Vanity Fair after party a few days ago. There you go. All right, boys and girls, you know how this goes. We're up against the clock. Janet, do you want to push anything before you get out of here, young lady? We're fixing to call it for today.
Not really, because I haven't really decided what I'm going to do. Bruce started a new job. So we can't do the Monday night show anymore. A girl in the gun movie. Now Saturday is still open for me to play DD, but Friday night I'm going to do the Friday night shit show again.
Which is great, guys. If you have never watched this thing, you need to check it out.
It's just us sitting around bitching and moaning about stupid shit that's going on.
Yeah,
that's about it.
And it's fantastic. It's just a bunch of friends getting together and talking. And I've got to tell you, the reason why I never can get on that show is because I work that night. I always tune in whenever I put the clients to bed. I'm a resident manager at a rehab. And when I put them to bed at 10 o'clock, I come up and turn you on. Yeah.
Thank you.
I enjoy it a lot.
It's fun. Yeah. So that right now, A Girl and a Guy in a Movie is kind of like on hold. We did it last Saturday or Sunday at noon. And we talked about the movie, the TV or the series on web series, Star Trek Continues, and I got to wear my red uniform and stuff. It was fun because that's part I like to do is dressing up in character and theme, whatever we're talking about.
I saw what you were when you were wearing. Let me think. It was red. Yeah, you were wearing a red outfit.
Yeah.
And I think you had a wig on. I think.
Yeah, I had a wig, a real
but-
long wig, redheaded, and I had a bouffant a little bit, trying to make it look like it was like from the late 60s, early 70s, like the series.
Yep.
So, but it was great. It was fun. I enjoy doing stuff. I've been blonde and brunette and everything but bald. I've been trying to find a bald wig so I could do some bald characters.
Oh,
whatever.
man. Hey.
But I had, we did Lady Ballers.
Mhm.
And I had a fake beard,
Oh my gosh.
like shadow
Too
and
much.
stuff. So
Great.
it's fun though. We love it. But until we figure out what Bruce's, schedule's
Going to be. It's going to be. Yeah. Well,
It's gonna
just
be a little bit. So
keep
we'll
doing
see.
the Friday nights, please.
I feel like you need to go to a con.
Yeah.
I go
right?
to cons all the time.
Yeah.
I went the last one I went to. I was an Andorian, and I got to meet William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd,
Yeah.
and I got their autographs in my Star Trek Federation of Planets manual. So it was like, yes,
Nice.
I had fun.
He popped his cherry with conventions last week. Last weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Yep.
he's going
Yeah,
to
it's
another one this
awesome.
weekend. Yeah.
I love Wizard Con, any horror con, any con I go to, I'm gonna go. So
Look, guys,
my next
I
one
want
I'm
you-
planning on is in October.
Very cool. Guys, I've got her link for her YouTube channel in the chat. Also, go check her out on Rumble and everywhere.
Janet's Universe.
TikTok,
Janet's
all of it.
Universe.
What is it?
Yeah,
now?
I'm on TikTok. Janet's Universe on Rumble.
Is it? Okay. Hang
Janet
on,
from
I'll
Another
get that
Planet
one
on
up there.
TikTok and Instagram. And LinkedIn, everything is Janet from Another Planet.
There you go.
But thank you so much.
No problem, darling. No problem. You guys go subscribe to her channel and check her out. She's one of the greatest. Thank you for coming today. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Let me let you guys know what's going on with the channel here. Of course, you're watching State of the Atmosphere. We do this every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. We give you a pop culture update, what's going on, and tell you what's going on all week long when it comes to that. Give you the box office numbers, all that good stuff. This is the Pop Culture Show on Joe's Atmosphere. So come check it out every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And then usually I'd be on with John on game night on Pop Culture Minefield's channel in about 25 minutes or so, but he's going to be off tonight. He's going to be packing for the big move. He's fixing to move in with his lady, and he's got to get out of there this week. So he will not be on this Wednesday, which is tonight, or Friday when he does Detroit Become Human. Both shows are at 8 p.m. Wednesdays and Fridays on Pop Culture Minefield's channel. He will be back next week. That's why I'm mentioning it. He just won't be on this week during the move.
Yep.
Okay.
I love
so
that
you guys
game
definitely go
so much.
check that out next week on Pop Culture Minefield. And then, of course, later on tonight, about 11 o'clock, I've got to go back to work on Thursday and Friday. So I have a little blowout for myself, have a few video games, cocktails, and fails at 11 p.m. tonight. I'm going to go ahead and continue my playthrough of Injustice 2 for my buddy Martin Acosta Santana. He's been enjoying that, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. At least I think it's going to take me 2 more episodes of that to finish it up, but I'm going to do it on Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, next time you see me here on this channel after that will be Friday at 1 p.m. for Sketching the Privateer. And this week it comes live from Shop Till You Drop, the vendor market show that my wife and I do once. I want to say it's once every quarter or so. We do it 5 times a year. My cousin kind of doubles up on them late in the year for Christmas, but this is the first one of the year. St. Patrick's Day weekend at the Bossier Civic Center. If you guys are in the area, come down and see me. I'll be pushing the comic book and my pencil sketch portraits. So come on down and see us, and I will be broadcasting live as they set up. It doesn't open until 3 p.m. on Friday, so I will show you some of the artwork I'm doing and some of the vendors that are going to be out there. So usually, Janet, if you don't know, this is the one where I usually do my comic book and do the drawing on it. But we'll be at the show this weekend, so I'll be showing that. And that's Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, Sundays, it's time for the Brothers Hack the Matrix. That's when Highlander, my younger brother, believe it or not, even though he's bigger than me, and I get together and we tell you everything that's going on in the clown show that is 2024. In the week's headlines, we tell you all about it on the Brothers Hack the Matrix every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central Time. And also be looking at Jed Revenwolf's channel because we will be doing the MFR Roadhouse late nights on Sunday coming up soon. Don't know when exactly, but he's waiting for his bells and whistles to get done. He's got a guy doing some animation for him and stuff. So
He's got to go howl at the moon some more.
That's it. He's got to howl at the moon some more.
Just all kinds of things.
Yeah, he's got a few preparations to do. But Sam, Ruben, and myself will be regulars on that show when he gets it up and running. And it's going to be late nights. And I'm talking like 11 p.m. Central Time is going to be the earliest he's going to start it. So he's also going to have other people on. So look forward to that coming up on Jed Revenwolf's channel. And then Monday morning on Pop Culture Minefield, it's Military Monday. I'm an ex-military policeman, and Gary, as we've detailed, is an ex-Army medic, and we get together and talk about military movies. This week, it's Tom Berenger and Billy Zane in Sniper. So come check that out at 10 a.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefield's channel. And then It's Only Talk and Roll comes your way at 4 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. And I may show up just to see what this is all about because I've never seen this movie. Mm-hmm. Brian has decided to do Breakin' and Breakin' 2. They're going to talk about that at 4 p.m. Central Time on Monday. I think the man's a lunatic doing this, but hey, I guess it might be a good movie. I don't know. I might have to do my homework and be on that show. But Breakin' and Breakin' 2 on It's Only Talk and Roll Monday at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then Tuesday, I don't know what game I'm going to play yet, but that's when I start my week streaming at 10 p.m. Central Time with Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, Video Games, Cocktails, and Fails. I may start the Mass Effect playthrough on Tuesday. I think I'll be ready to do it after the show. I just didn't want to do it before the show this weekend. So, and then it comes back around to Wednesday with this crew right here. And Janet, thank you for stopping by. You're welcome. Graced us with your presence, and we humbly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It was fun. It was fun.
I hope you did have fun. Hope you come back and hang out with us again. It's not always a sausage fest, but a lot of the time
I would love to. And can I request something one day for you guys to do in your military movies? Have you ever?
Yeah, sure. I'll get the word to Gary. It's his show, but I'll get the word to him. Yeah. What do you got?
Have you ever done The Great Raid?
The Great Raid.
It's about the only time that we've ever saved our POWs.
Really?
During wartime.
I don't think we've done the Great Raid now.
That's my favorite movie.
I'll ask Gary about that one. The Great Raid. The Great Raid.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know that I've seen that one, but yeah.
Tim says they did.
Really? Okay.
Oh, did we? I don't remember it. No.
He says yes, they did. He's a big fan of that show, so he would know.
It's a good movie.
Well, listen, boys and girls, I want to thank you all for being here. I want you to like, share, subscribe, all of our stuff. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. And my cosplayer is about to be home with my steak and eggs. So you guys take it easy.
I need more Ken. I need more Ken.
Good night.
You need more Ken?
We need a side movie with Ken. We need to break off from Barbie.
Because Ken is Knuff. That's why.
Ken is